It's time to talk mouthpieces. I'm not exactly a mouthpiece collector, as you can see by this tiny row, but I do have a decent amount that I've gotten over the years. Let's get the two outliers out of the way first. This is a Barry Sachs mouthpiece that I got from my Off-A-Clyde video. I paid like $70 for it, which I definitely shouldn't have done, because that video turned out terribly. I really had higher hopes, and I should have tested it before I spent $70 on this. So now it just sits. This little guy is a bassoon reed. I used to play bassoon and I loved it, but I was borrowing the instrument from my high school, and after I graduated I just, couldn't keep it. Someday I wish to get a bassoon again because that was such a fun instrument. Now I'll go from the smallest to the biggest brass mouthpieces because I know you're all dying to know about the wooden mouthpiece, so I'll save it for last. This little guy came with a bugle I got for my birthday. I really don't know anything about this bugle. The case says it's a con, but the only thing on the bell is US regulation, made in US. It also came with this, a Yamaha silent brass mute. It has a little port, I think it's for like headphones, but I don't exactly know how to use it. I feel like it should be simple, but I'm probably doing something wrong. As most of you already know, I'm also not a trumpet player, so I suck at this thing. Any mouthpiece smaller than my Off-A-Clyde mouthpiece is not easy for me. This guy is the stock Chinese mouthpiece that came with my Off-A-Clyde. No brand, no size, all I know is it's a small shank. It really doesn't sound great as an Off-A-Clyde mouthpiece. I always prefer the next one. This is my Jerome Wiss Off-A-Clyde mouthpiece. This is way better than the stock one. It also came with my Off-A-Clyde when I bought it. It's a very nice mouthpiece. The Off-A-Clyde obviously sounds terrible, but this makes it just a bit better. Now this one is interesting. This is my high-end model E-flat tuba mouthpiece. It's funny because the shank is too small to fit in my E-flat tuba. I got this for my Off-A-Clyde last year because I want to hit notes that normally you aren't supposed to hit with a normal mouthpiece. This has such a wide cup that you can open your lips and drop really low. The only downside is when you're playing anything except the lowest notes, it's really hard to play and stay in tune. And now to the tuba mouthpieces. We're almost to the wooden one, guys. This is my Helleberg 7B tuba mouthpiece. Now I have mixed feelings about this mouthpiece. It's a really nice mouthpiece that my parents were nice enough to buy brand new for me when I went into high school. But I don't like how it feels. There's just something about it when I'm playing tuba, it doesn't feel right. The high notes are harder to hit, the low notes are harder to hit. I really can't tell much difference in tone between this and my other metal mouthpiece. So it just kind of sits there most of the time. Occasionally I'll pull it out, but I much prefer this next one. Now this is my Vincent Bach 18 tuba mouthpiece. This is the mouthpiece I got when I got my very first tuba all the way back in 7th grade. My parents were amazing and bought me a 3/4 size tuba, brand new. Back then, all the way up until my sophomore year of high school, I really didn't practice much at home, even though I had a nice, practically brand new tuba sitting there. So this thing was left pretty much unused most of the time. All I would do was practice at school during rehearsal. This was also the mouthpiece we used at school, so I was getting used to it there. But when I started practicing at home a lot, I got used to this even more. It has a couple small marks on it, probably from me dropping it, but it's still in great condition. Remember to always wash out your mouthpieces. You can't let them get too gross. It's not good for them. It just feels right to me. I love the tone and the feel. And now the time that maybe some of you have been waiting for. This is a one-of-a-kind, hand-carved wooden tuba mouthpiece. The man who carved it is the same person I bought the Helicon from, and he also carved that wooden stand. Even the shank is wooden, but I do have scotch tape around it to protect it from the inside of the tuba. This is my favorite mouthpiece. It has such a lovely tone. The only downside is, if I forget to shave for a bit, I can really feel it on my upper lip and it scratches like crazy. Even though it is my favorite mouthpiece, sometimes I want the tone that a metal mouthpiece brings, so I can't always use it. But it's still my #1 choice on mouthpiece.